Once the Senate orders peacekeeping troops to Mandalore, the people will be surrounded by a military presence. Most distasteful. They will rebel and rally to Death Watch. Our insurgency will grow stronger. Yes, and Duchess Septime shall fall.
Peacekeeper belongs on the front lines of conflict. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to do his job.
The work of a peacekeeper is to make sure that conflict does not arise.
Yes, a noble description, but a realistic one.
Is reality what makes a Jedi abandon his ideals? Or is it simply a response to political convenience?
Are you alright?
I'm fine.
Hooligans couldn't have arranged an attack of this scale.
Then this must be the work of an off-worlder.
Are you sure of that?
The sign of the Death Watch.
This goes far beyond vandalism. This is a political statement against your government and against you. You're not safe here. I'm taking you back to the palace. I want to interview everyone here. Nobody leaves this scene. You there! I only want to talk. I don't want to hurt you. Stay back! Kalhava Brokun Dashran!
Sesolu, Sikad, Sedarasun Gut,
What does he say?
Kadi, Senamim,
Kikadi Narmiim. He was speaking in the dialect they use on Concordia, our moon.
I should like to visit this moon of yours. Perhaps I could accompany the
DLC 1, of course, being Moxie's heist on the Handsome Jackpot, and to say that I loved it would be an understatement. It is great, but we're going to save that for another video where I will break down the whole DLC and give my thoughts on it. For this video, we're going to be talking about something way more interesting. So at the end of the video, after seeing the ending, I had speculated that what we saw might not have been Timothy throughout the whole DLC. In fact, I thought it could have been Jack himself. Now, no one believed me and no one agreed with me, and that's totally fine, and you know, why would it make sense? Even Gearbox themselves have said that Jack is dead. And I will admit, I don't even fully believe it myself, but there are so many things in this DLC that so many people have missed which point towards this guy being Jack. And you probably may have missed them if you weren't paying attention. So first of all, let's talk about that ending. I'm gonna roll the clip and then I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on it.
Need a hand?
Oxy, you know, I've been wondering, why did you say yes to dinner that night?
I was hungry.
Yeah, but Jack, he was the worst.
Oh, honey. If I thought you were Jack, I'd have shot you the moment you stepped up to my bar.
So, I didn't even fool you a little.
Not even a little.
So, I didn't even fool you a little.
Not even a little.
Now, before I talk about it, I do want to say, if you don't know anything about Timothy the Doppelganger from pre-sequel, go and do your research on it and go and read up on it so that you better understand this video. But at the end of the DLC, we see Timothy talking to Moxie about a time that he asked her out for dinner and he wanted to know why she said yes. Moxie's response is that she didn't believe for 1 second that Timothy was Jack, even though he was pretending to be. If you guys didn't already know, Jack and Moxie did previously date. And then Timothy, of course, says not even a little, and then Moxie agrees, and then, you know, it rolls the whole little cutscene at the end. But what's really interesting is that they play this same dialogue right at the end before it goes to credits. But they don't just play it in any ordinary way. They play it kinda echoey, almost as if it's in Timothy's head. And I know to you guys, this might just be him being happy and stuff, but I look a lot deeper into this. So, we know that the casino is basically a prison. We know that the people on there just want to kill everyone and get off of there, right? So the whole goal would be to flee the prison. Now, I'm not saying this is what it is, but I want you guys to just imagine that it is for 1 second to better understand this. Before I bring up any of my points, let's just say that this is Handsome Jack. So at the end of the DLC, after Jack basically fools Moxie into still making her think that this is Timothy, he decides that he's going to flee the casino. That is what we see when he walks out of the tower onto the main deck. He knows that the casino is being destroyed and he knows he needs to get off of there and flee before anyone figures out who he really is. And then, bang, it plays that dialogue in Jack's head and he realizes, hold on, I just sacrificed my hand and Moxie still thinks I'm Timothy. You've got to remember that sacrificing his hand just to save this ship and all the people on it is something Jack would never do. So Jack realizes that he has once again fooled her and the rest of the Vault Hunters and can now worm his way back into her life, perhaps as a way of starting over or getting revenge. And let me make that clear, me saying that this could be Jack isn't about him coming back as an antagonist. This could just be Jack trying to restart his life. In fact, if you've played pre-sequel, you'll know that Jack is more misunderstood and confused rather than evil. Also, something even more fishy around the whole fleeing the casino idea is that after you beat the DLC, Timothy is nowhere to be found. At least from my experience. If you find him, let me know where he is, but I looked everywhere. He's not in his hideout, he is not in Sanctuary with Moxie, he is not even at the end of the boss fight when you farm it. This guy has seemingly disappeared and I could not find him. Now let's talk about why he wears a mask. Now up until today, I thought that this was one of the biggest leads until someone on Twitter pointed it out to me. So at first I thought, why does the doppelganger wear a mask? Again, if you've played pre-sequel, you'll know that Timothy's face is just fine compared to Handsome Jack's, who is of course scarred with that vault symbol. But Twitter user Backup Potato did tweet a video at me which I must have missed while playing through the DLC, where Timothy basically says that all doppelgangers were branded after Jack got branded.
I never really resented Lilith, but after Jack got his scar, he branded all of us body doubles to match, so...
And notice he says doppelgangers, and the reason he says this is because we know, of course, there is more than one Handsome Jack doppelganger. There is Timothy, and we also have Handsome Jackie. And I would guess that all of the psychos in the DLC with the Handsome Jack masks on may also be doppelgangers too, but I'm still unsure about that. Another little clip I want to point to you guys is this one right at the end of the DLC too.
You know, I've been wondering, why did you say yes to dinner that night?
I was hungry.
Yeah, but
You already played this, didn't you?
he was the worst.
The way he says that is very, very peculiar, and it really strikes me as something Jack would say. The way his face looks, the way he says it, it's just something Jack says, and he said it just exactly like him. Now, I know, of course, he could be in pain, and that is probably the most reasonable outcome, and that's probably what I'm going to go with. But you also have to wonder, we know that Timothy had to get in character to speak like Jack, as we saw in the mission just before the final mission, so it makes you wonder why he said,
Get out to Oak Bluff West, where there's plenty of room to stretch and grow. Expand.
Hey guys, I am super excited about making this video. This is the kind of stuff that I really love. And a massive shout out to Z Karma for figuring this So Z Karma figured out something pretty amazing with Wu-Tan the Invincible, and maybe some of you guys know about this, but I certainly didn't. And for those of you that don't know about this is incredibly helpful. So after you do all that work and finally get to the end and kill him, you might get a handful of legendaries that drop from him. I've seen some people say they don't really get any. I've seen some people that say they get like 2 or 3. I've certainly seen in the range of like 2 to 3 to like 5 or 6. And if you're going in there with 4 people, and that's the way Gearbox designed this mission and this raid, then just a handful of legendaries is not enough to go around for all 4 players, especially after you did all that work to get there. And for those of you that feel like getting all the way through this mission and fighting Wu-Tan isn't really worth the drops that you get, it's probably because we've been missing something. It seems like Gearbox did actually set this fight up so that the risk is worth the reward. There's a way to double and maybe even triple the amount of legendary drops you can get from Wu-Tan. So when fighting Wu-Tan, you have to go through his immunity phases and his shield and all that good stuff, and then his body separates into like an upper torso, his bottom legs, and then he also has a brain that runs around. And what we're going to be focused on is his bottom 4 legs. Those things are packed with legendaries. So once you get him close to near death and he's about to die, you've taken out his shield and his health is really low, you're going to kill him, and then it's going to say that the takedown is over. Right here I got downed, but I killed him and I got a second wind. And on your screen it's going to say that the takedown is confirmed and you're pretty much done with the boss fight. It does tell you that the fight is over, and his body sits there for just a few seconds and then disappears, so you think, yeah, that's it, whatever he dropped during that time, you're good to go and that's all you get. But that's actually not the case. Once you kill him, you're not done. Yes, his body is lifeless and no longer has a health bar, but you can continue to damage him and he will drop a ton of legendary. You'll be damaging his 4 legs and he is like a piñata full of legendary. But something interesting about this is that you only have seconds to be able to do this before his body disappears, and these 4 legs are very difficult to damage. If you don't damage the legs, then you don't get the legendaries, and the body will disappear just like that. Z Karma, the one that figured this out, he said in his video that these legs, yes, are very difficult to kill, and he calculated that you need to do about 100,000 damage to be able to break them, and that's for each leg. And again, you only have seconds to do this, and he was thinking that maybe that is how it's structured for 4 people. You have 4 people coming in, you have 4 legs, and they each take a leg and then just go to town to try to break them. And that makes sense why there are so many legendaries, because this is a 4-player designed boss fight, and in my game right here I got 15 of them to drop. I am on Mayhem mode 4, so that's the number that you could probably expect to get there. And then you also have the brain that's going to be running around that might drop 1 or 2. I did test this out on normal mode to see if any legendary would drop from the legs, and if so, how many. I'll show you guys that later on in the video. One thing Karma recommended in his video is to do the damage stacking glitch, because this is so hard to do if you're solo, and even with 4 people, because these legs require so much damage, you need to have some kind of a one-shot kill to be able to pull it off. I've been making videos about the damage stacking glitch that you can do with the Brawler Ward shield and also the Roid Rough Rider shield, and you use those in combination with the Face Puncher shotgun. So the question is, can you do this legit? I timed it to see how long you have to destroy the 4 legs before the body disappears and you lose all that legendary gear. And it looks like you have a little over 11 seconds. And another thing that's important, if you're wanting to farm these legs and destroy them, then it's probably a good idea to make sure he's on the ground before you kill him and not destroy him when he's up on those towers. So you have 11 seconds to do 100,000 damage on each leg, and I'm sure there's got to be some kind of legit build that could handle that. And if you're in there with 4 people, everybody blasting at the legs, it might work. I wanted to see what the drops would be like in normal mode and destroying his 4 legs, and unfortunately it's not that great. You're not getting the tremendous amount of legendary loot like you do on Mayhem mode 4, which makes sense. I got 3 or 4 legendary drops from this by destroying all 4 legs and then also the brain. But yeah, it definitely looks like this boss fight is worth it based on how much legendary you can acquire. It's quite impressive. But hopefully this will help you guys out, and we'll see you next video.
The only thing they fear is you.
catch up with the Duchess soon.
I suppose we're even now.
How so?
I saved your life, you saved mine.
Yes. Well, mine more daring of the two rescues.
But if Previs have fled, we have no way of learning how widespread Death Watch really is.
It's obvious the separatists are supporting the Death Watch.
I disagree. I told you I wanted to stay out of this conflict.
Given the current situation, I'm afraid that would be possible.
I thought you were all people first. Pushing on this matter, I will never be involved in this war.
Reporting for escort duty, General. Anakin. My, glad to see you. You sound tired. The peaceful ways of the locals wore me out a bit.
You really don't recall anything about the sayings that Raditz clown was going on about?
No, none of it rings a bell. It's crazy. I had no idea I had an older brother either.
I was hoping to milk some useful information out of you for our fight.
Oops, went a little too far. Nothing for me over here. I don't need to head over there. No point going that way.
His tail's probably his weak point. If we can squeeze his tail, he should be vulnerable. That's what happened whenever mine got grabbed.
How are we supposed to grab his tail?
Might cause some trouble later. Best to deal with this now. We're closing in on him. Let's head down and move in for the attack.
No! He's using a device that tells him our strengths as well as our location. Safe to say he probably knows.
I'm pumped up and ready to go. No, you should train some more.
Jesus Christ. So much shit.
Huh? What's this? A power level of 710. Where the hell? Chiron's kid? No way! Damn, this thing must be busted! What? Another reading, and it's heading straight for me! There's one. Oh, there's two. They've come. So, isn't it obvious? I'm here to get my... Where is he? You're hiding him somewhere, aren't you? Screaming was giving me a headache, so I locked him up in there. But forget about the rot. Don't tell me you actually fool! You're not even fit to call yourself a Saiyan! No, believe it or not, now it's just about strength. Oh, that gives me an idea. Man, he's fast. Here If this is the best you can do, then you can just forget about joining now. No way. Even with your combined power, you're still pathetic. But considering you weren't smart enough to heed my warning, don't deserve to live. kidding me? You know what? Since you're going to die anyway, I might as well tell you something. The two things I mentioned earlier, they're even more powerful than me.
If you've got a new attack hidden up your sleeve, now's the time to use it, Goku!
Sorry, I'm fresh out.
Lucky for you, I actually came up with a new technique while I was training.
Really? A plan? Ha! It'd be easier just to lie down and wait for the sweet release of death.
I'm just gonna need enough time to charge up the proper energy for it. Gonna need you to keep him busy while I deal with this.
Got it. I'll do what I can.
Hope you're ready for this.
Come on! Huh. You just don't know when to quit. You alone? Why were you two trying to decide who gets to die first? Here goes! My power! Playtime over! Are you actually that stupid? No one can save you! You'll be long dead before that could happen! Here goes! My power! Here goes! My power! No way! Playtime's over! This game ends now. Here goes! My power! Hello? What were you two trying to decide who gets to die first? Planning on losing. You're pretty good! Playtime's over! Here goes! game ends now. My power! Here goes! My power! Alone? What were you two trying to decide who gets to die first? We ain't planning on losing. No one can save you! You'll be long dead before that could happen! This game ends now! My power! No way! This game is now. This game is now.
God damn it. Still on.
His power level. It's 1330. He's focusing all his power into his fingertips. Damn it! He's got that much control over his energy! You let your guard down! And now I've got your tail! Damn it! When did you?
Good work, Goku. Hold on to that tail and don't let go no matter what.
Wait! Let me go! I'll leave this planet in peace!
Don't listen to him, Goku. He's trying to trick you.
Please, please, believe me, brother. I'm begging you, Kakarot. Don't do this to your only family. I can't believe you fell for it. You might actually be the dumbest guy I've ever met. Don't think I'm going to show you mercy just because you're my little brother. Yes, yes, that's what I like to hear. It'll all be over soon. Don't get comfortable. You're next.
Damn, if I try to hit him now, he's just going to dodge it.
What is this kid? You're dead! Where did you get all this power? Piccolo! Now's your chance!
Special Wing Cannon!
beaten by scum like this. I can't. I can't believe that Kakarot would just...
You idiot. Trust me, Goku won't be dead. Why didn't you know? This planet is home to the grant wishes. Absolutely any wish imaginable. Even bringing someone...
My comrades will... once transmitted them, once they've learned. How long until then? When will they... when do you think... A year. Just one.
Damn it. 1 year before even stronger will be huge.
I see.
That's pretty much it.
Come on, Goku! Hang in there! It's not like you to give up so easily!
Giant hole on it.
You know, dying is a
Where's the
lot worse
sensu
than I
beams,
thought it
man?
would be. Yeah, but don't you worry. We're gonna bring you back. Goku! What the? He's gone!
Interesting. I bet Kami has something to do.
Eh? Well, I guess we can put our minds at ease if Kami...
You guys need to get the Dragon Balls. Kami doesn't possess the power needed to bring someone back to life also. Goku's kid will be coming with me.
What? You're kidding, right? What are you gonna do
With
with
a little training and the right teacher, that kid could be capable of serious power. We're going to need all the power we can get before those two Saiyans show up in a year's time. Me training this little runt is our best shot to stand it. Once Goku's revived, tell him we'll get his son back and in better shape than he left him.
Meanwhile, on a planet far, far from Earth.
Rats! The bastard went and got himself killed!
He always was an embarrassment. Still, I must admit, I'm very interested in these Dragon Balls. So they're capable of granting any wish? Alright, let's go.
We're gonna bring rats back from the dead?
Don't make me laugh. We have no more use for that dead weight. We can wish for eternal youth, for immortality. Can you imagine it? Nothing can possibly stand in our way.
Sounds good to me. Come in!
Invigorated by the prospect of attaining immortality with the Dragon Balls, the two Saiyans made their way to Earth.
And that is why I brought him here as he is, to be trained further. Therefore, if it is agreeable to you, King Yama, I humbly ask that you allow him to...
I see. So you intend to take this heaven and subject him to the grueling 625,000-mile-long snake way so he can...
Indeed.
Very well. If you wish to see King Kai, then I suggest you be, however, I should warn you that no one has ever made it successfully, other than myself, of course, in over 100...
Must be one heck of a journey. I better get started. By the way, did a guy named Raditz come through here?
Yes, we've got him locked.
Did he put up much of a fight?
He sure did. He definitely didn't go quietly.
Whoa! You must be...
So, you were sent along with him, huh? I am the great King Yama. I occupy a position above that of the Earth's. Do you know what that means?
That means you're crazy strong.
You don't seem to understand what I'm saying. But it's not just my strength that serves me in this position. You need brains to do the...
Man, what work?
Now then, to help you better understand my work, let's give you...
Actually...
Well then, if that's going to be your attitude, then I guess you...
What? No way! Okay.
Why didn't you say that from the beginning? Anyway, let's begin. I'll let you through if you can answer all of my... That's right. In fact, he's one of the biggest pain. Right. Next! Correct. I am... Isn't that right?
Ah, yes, King Yama.
Right. Next! That's right. No matter where they're from, all who die come like your brother. He wasn't a next question. Not bad. That's correct. Those pesky Dragon Balls are indeed... I hate those things. It's like my job. Who created those blasted balls? Care to shed some light on... Whatever. Sorry, but that's it.
Huh?
What?
This is the fifth question, right?
Really? One? Of course it was. I was just... And you... Well, that was the...
There's that trademark denial of...
I heard maybe I'll send you to hell when it's your time.
Please forgive me, your high boy. He's got one hell of a sense of hearing.
Oh, you think you're some sort of fun? That's enough. I will allow you to see King Kai.
Wow, really? Thanks a bunch, Mr. Yama.
Don't tell me you've forgotten who you're talking to.
No, Mr. King Yama.
That's more like if you're going to see King...
Well, this is where we part ways.
Thanks. I'm not really sure what to...
Damn it.
Time to wake up, kid. You've slept long enough.
Huh? Who are you?
Listen up. Time for a reality check. Your daddy is dead, okay? He sacrificed himself to kill the man who kidnapped you, in case you forgot.
What? My dad?
If his friends are vigilant and able to find the Dragon Balls, they can bring him back. However, we've got other things to deal with. Though we were able to defeat Raditz, it sounds like we've got two of his buddies to worry about a year from now. If that's really the case, your father and I probably aren't going to be enough to take these guys down. We need power. Your power. You're going to have to learn to fight and defend the Earth. Go on, crash course in survival.
I'm no good at fighting!
Quit your whining! Once I'm done whipping you into shape, you'll be tough enough for anything. Got it?
So, you're gonna train me? Okay, what do I have to do?
You have to live out here on your own, without distraction. I'm giving you 6 months. If you're able to survive for that long, I'll teach you how to fight. See ya.
Wait! It's scary out here! Don't leave me! I'm hungry. I need food.
Shut up. Swear to Christ if he keeps going.
This place gives me the creeps.
Like, start running, kid.
I'm alone.
Little twig go and get himself killed. Whoa, that's a big tree. Wow, this tree has been here a long time. Great piccolo reduced to this. I'm gonna have to whip this spoiled ball of tears into shape. Looks like one massive tree. What a pain in the ass. This'll end it! I hope the weakling is prepared to die. What the hell are those things? That kid's probably got his hands full, right? Guess I'll have to take care of them. This is a waste of my time. Low on energy. Looks like someone wants to die. I'll make quick work of you. Yourself, you could never beat me. Looks like someone wants to die. I'll make quick work with you. Special How many more of these things are there? Energy from this thing is incredible. just wasting my time at this point. Nothing but a waste of time up ahead and time to head back. There, done. Now then, time to check on that, hopefully throwing him to the wolves will toughen him up.
I'm hungry. I'm so hungry.
Little brat, we still don't have what it takes to fight the Saiyans. His latent power is our only shot. Fine. Just this once, I'll throw him a bone. Looks like there's only apples to eat around here. Oh well. Maybe there's some around here. Search this place. I'd say it's about time to take a break, huh? Maybe there's some around here. It's giving me a real headache. Maybe there's some around here. Maybe there's some around here. Now where can I find some?
This is perhaps giving me a real headache. Now where did I find some?
Zoom on. I'm alright.
Maybe there's some around here.
Oh.
Maybe there's some around here. Where did I find some? This is perhaps giving me a real headache. Decided! Did I already search this place? Looks like someone wants to die. Maybe there's some around here. Someone wants to die. This is perhaps giving me a real headache. I'm ready whenever you are. Let's do this. So that's all. Decided! 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 Might be a good idea to take a break. One's probably not enough. Alright, this is all he's getting. Looks like someone wants to die. I'll make quick work with you.
Yourself could never beat me. Decided! 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 Looks like someone wants to die.
I hate this place! I'm hungry! I want to go home! Apples! I found apples! Yay! Huh? Wow! It's kind of bright! For nighttime, at least! Oh! It's the moon! Whoa! It's so big and round! This is the first time I've seen a full moon!
What the? What the hell's going on? It's berserk! There won't be any here to protect if this keeps up.
We Saiyans release our true power whenever there's a full moon. Even chumps like you should know that.
That's right, the full moon!